What is fatigue? Fatigue is more than feeling tired and drowsy. In a work context, fatigue is a state of mental or physical exhaustion which reduces a person's ability to perform work safely and effectively. It can occur because of prolonged mental or physical activity, sleep loss, or disruption of the internal body clock. Fatigue can be caused by factors which may be work related, non work related, or a combination of both and can accumulate over time. Fatigue in different aspects, in different ways, who can be affected? Only the worker? Not at all. Anybody, anytime, anywhere. And what may happen? You will learn everything in this training session. So, if you are first time on this channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon for all future notifications. And if you find the video informative, then like, comment, and share it with your friends and colleagues. Here, the important question is, why is fatigue a problem? Dear friends and fellows, fatigue can adversely affect safety at the workplace. Fatigue reduces alertness, which may lead to errors and an increase in incidents and injuries, particularly when operating fixed or mobile plant, including driving vehicles, operating cranes and excavators, undertaking critical tasks that require a high level of concentration, alertness, and undertaking night or shift work when a person would ordinarily be sleeping. In this type of activities or operation need high alertness. If you are in the state of fatigue, if you are affected by fatigue, there is the possibility of safety violations, and safety violations ended up in a major damaging or drastic potential workplace accident. And you know very well, accidents bring losses, injuries, pains, or maybe the lifetime deprivations and miseries. There are also longer term health effects. Those may be caused by fatigue that can include heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, gastrointestinal disorders, lower fertility, anxiety, and depression. You can understand very well fatigue is a safety problem. It's a safety issue. It is going to affect the safety and health at work. There are short terms and longer terms effects on the health of individuals, and the individuals may compromise safety because of fatigue at work. Even if you are at home because of fatigue, you can make something wrong that can affect you or your family members. You are on the platform of safety first life. If you are interested to learn in depth about fatigue, stay connected, stick around. Let us understand now, how can you tell if someone is fatigued? There are signs and symptoms that indicate a worker is fatigued. Number one, excessive yawning or falling asleep at work. Number two, short term memory problems and an inability to concentrate. Number three, noticeably reduced capacity to engage in effective interpersonal communication. Number four, impaired decision making and judgment. Number five, reduced hand eye coordination or slow reflexes. Number six, other changes in behavior. For example, repeatedly arriving late for work. And number seven, increased rates of unplanned absences. These are very important points if you try to understand how a person can be identified that he or she is under the effect of Fatigue, if you will find these things in repetition, one, two, or three, you can understand well that the person is under fatigue. Then you have the time to dig deeper, to know better what are the causes of fatigue, why a person is in the state of fatigue. A fatigued worker may also experience symptoms not obvious to others that may include feeling drowsy, headaches, dizziness, difficulty in concentration, blurred vision or impaired visual perception, a need for extended sleep during days of work. Signs and symptoms, person to person, might be different, but not altogether. There are few similarities. As a supervisor, as a safety practitioner, as a construction manager, it's your responsibility to inspect the site, to make meetings with the workers, and through your staff, try to judge how is the behavior of your workforce. If someone is under the effect of fatigue, you can do something, or you can change the work pattern for that individual to make him safe and productive. Otherwise, maybe extreme fatigue leads to a workplace accident. The most important thing is who has health and safety duties in relation to managing the risks of fatigue at work. I think 90% people they believe this is the responsibility of health and safety staff, health and safety department. But remember, everyone in the workplace has a work, health, and safety duty and can help to ensure fatigue doesn't create a risk to health and safety at work. This is not the duty of only the safety department, it is the duty of every individual, an employee, labor to CEO or managing director. They all are equally responsible to maintain health and safety at work. Fatigue is not only caused by work related activities, it is affected by all activities carried out when a person is awake. So don't think a person is under fatigue because of work. Maybe once he is going to join the duty, he is already under the effect of fatigue. We'll try to understand with a few examples what is the duty or the responsibility of a person who is conducting a business. A person who is the owner of the business has the primary duty to ensure, so far as is reasonably practicable, workers and other staff are not exposed to health and safety risks arising from the business or undertaking. This includes, so far as is reasonably practicable, number one, provision and maintenance of a work environment without risks to health and safety. Number two, provision and maintenance of safe systems of work. And number three, monitoring the health of workers and the conditions at the workplace for the purpose of preventing illness or injury of workers arising from the conduct of the business or undertaking. In all the points, the common thing is safety of the workers, how to keep the workers safe, how to keep them away from harm, how to keep them away from injuries, pains, and sufferings. Do you think this is only possible with one person who is the owner of the business? Maybe he has no opportunity to visit the site, maybe in years, but his representatives, his directors, managers, practitioners, supervisors, and workers, they all are responsible to maintain the rules, to maintain the procedures as per the health and safety guidelines and regulations. Duty on the person conducting the business or undertaking is not removed by a worker's preference for certain shift patterns for social reasons, their willingness to work extra hours or to come to work when fatigued. The person conducting the business or undertaking should adopt risk management strategies to manage the risks of fatigue in these circumstances. Let us understand now, as an individual, as an employee, what is the role of workers in managing Fatigue, dear friends and fellows. Workers must take reasonable care for their own health and safety and must not adversely affect the health and safety of other persons. Workers must also comply with any reasonable instruction and cooperate with any reasonable policy or procedure relating to fatigue in the workplace, such as policies on fitness for work or second jobs. Workers' duties in relation to fatigue don't mean they must never work extra hours. However, they should talk to their manager or supervisor to let them know when they are fatigued. They should also avoid working additional hours and undertaking safety critical tasks when they know it is likely they are fatigued. Dear friends and fellows, you are on the platform of safety first life. Let us understand now how can the risks of fatigue be managed at the workplace. Measures to manage the risks associated with fatigue will vary from one workplace to the next, depending on the nature of the work, environmental conditions, and individual factors. The risks associated with fatigue can be managed by following systematic process which may involve number 1, identifying the factors which may cause fatigue in the workplace. Number 2, if necessary, assessing the risks of injury from fatigue. Number 3, controlling risks by implementing the most effective control measures reasonably practicable in the circumstances. And number 4, reviewing control measures to ensure they are working as planned. In other words, these are the hierarchy of controls to manage fatigue at work. The most important aspect, and most of the practitioners they forget while they are at work, that is consultation with the workforce. You cannot implement safety, you cannot upgrade the safety culture, you cannot make the site productive unless you are not consulting the workers, and workers they are not involved and committed to comply with safety rules, safety procedures, safety policies, and safety regulations. How is it possible then? Only with the consultation. Once the workers they feel they are the important element or asset, then only they will take the responsibility, and you can improve the site safety standards or the safety culture. Consulting workers at each step of the risk management process encourages everyone to work together to identify fatigue risk factors and implement effective control measures. Consultation also helps to raise awareness about the risks of fatigue. A person conducting a business or undertaking must consult, so far as is reasonably practicable, with workers who carry out work for business or undertaking who are likely to be directly affected by a work health and safety matter. If the workers are represented by a health and safety representative, the consultation must involve that representative. These 2 points, these are the legal requirements. This you need to comply with. If you will not, by law, you are guilty. And in the case of any incident, if you fail to provide the evidence that you are not complying with the safety regulations, your next destination might be the prison, because you know the law, but you are neglecting, ignoring, and not following the legal requirements at work, even though you are responsible as a supervisor, as a safety practitioner, or as a manager. Another important question: what does consultation mean? Consultation involves sharing information, giving workers a reasonable opportunity to express views, and taking those views into account before making decisions on health and safety matters. You will share the information, you will get the feedback, and you will add this once you are making decisions. on the matters of health and safety. Only make a photo session is not workable. It cannot prevent incidents and accidents. Workers and their health and safety representatives, if any, must be consulted so far as is reasonably practicable when number one, planning and designing work schedules and rosters. Number two, making decisions on how to manage the risks of fatigue. Number three, proposing changes to working hours, work schedules, and working procedures. Number four, making decisions about providing information and training on fatigue. And number five, after an incident or near miss where fatigue was a factor. Generally, you will consult. These five are the special occasions when you have to comply, when you have to consult. By all means, without consultation, you cannot prevent reoccurrence. Remember, consulting, cooperating, and coordinating activities with other duty holders is also important. A person conducting a business or undertaking must consult, cooperate, and coordinate activities with all other persons, other parties who have a work health and safety duty in relation to the same matter, so far as is reasonably practicable. Sometimes more than one person conducting a business or undertaking may have responsibility for health and safety because they are involved in the same activities or share the same workplace. In these situations, they must communicate with each other to identify and assess health and safety risks associated with fatigue and work together in a cooperative and coordinated way so these risks are eliminated or minimized so far as is reasonably practicable. Maybe it is not well clear. So let us understand with one example. Dear friends and fellows, if a business provides on hire workers who carry out shift work for a host business, both businesses have a duty of care to the workers. The business owners will need to discuss whether fatigue may be a potential hazard and consider issues such as the mental and physical demands of the job, shift rosters, and working hours. The on hire business will need to take into account the cumulative effect of fatigue arising from all the different workplaces the worker is sent to and agree on arrangements to manage the risks of fatigue with each business. Health and safety is a common issue. It is the common interest. It is the interest that is related to everybody. How many contractors, subcontractors are self-employed workers. They are working in a construction or a project site. This is the responsibility of the principal contractor or the representatives of the business owner that they will communicate, they will coordinate, they will consult health and safety issues with everybody. The ultimate aim, objective, and the purpose is to maintain health and safety at work and to avoid or to minimize the number of incidents and accidents on a work site. And that's all for now. If you have any question, please ask in the comment section. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like, comment and share the video. Hope to see you soon with a new HSC tutorial. Until then, take care. Good luck and goodbye.